Most beginner bagpipers waste months and even years, okay, spinning their wheels, developing bad habits with no real plan of success. All right, and this causes them to lose interest in playing the instrument altogether. Okay, because they can't figure out how to play, they have no real plan on learning how to play. Then this causes them to just completely lose interest in the instrument. All right, if you want to learn the bagpipes faster, you need to focus on a few small things, and this in turn will help you stay motivated to play the instrument. Okay, so I've put together just 10 sort of tips that I think every beginner bagpiper should hear. Okay, these aren't things like keep your e doublings open and things like that. These are more big universal kind of things that will hopefully help you develop as a better bagpiper and also keep you motivated to play the bagpipes. All right. Before I dive into that, I also want to mention I'd like you to check out the Highland Bagpipe Academy if you have a chance. That's just highlandbagpipe.com. There you can get the free tune book. All right, 50 essential bagpipe tunes. Great little free tune book. There's also a free beginner course. All right, on there, and there's also a full course you can check out there as well. All right, all right. Let's try. Let's start with tip number one. Tip number one, practice every day. All right. 10, 15 minutes a day is much better than an hour and a half on one day a week. All right. Consistency will always beat intensity. All right. It's like going to the gym or exercising. You'd be better off exercising 15 minutes, 6 days a week than, just going out and doing a 6 mile run or something on a Saturday. All right. So keep that in mind. Little short practices are always better than just one long practice a week. All right. Obviously, if you can practice half an hour every day, that's better than 15 minutes. But, life gets in the way and sometimes you don't have much time. So always try to practice as frequently as possible, even if it's only for a short amount of time. All right. Tip number two, always use a metronome. If you're a part of the Highland Bagpipe Academy, you'll hear me say that a million times. And if you have an instructor yourself, you've probably heard him say that to you as well. All right. If your timing sucks, everything sucks, and nothing points out bad timing quite like a metronome. All right. Nobody loves to use them. All right, because they point out your bad timing, and it's one extra thing to just kind of get out when you're practicing. So I always suggest just have your metronome with your practice chanter. All right, and then you have no excuse. Or a lot of times it's just on your phone these days. But if you have it separately, always have your metronome with your practice chanter and ready to practice. Use it on 80% of the things you do, and it will always, always, always make you a better player. Tip number three, play it slow before you play it fast. All right. My instructor growing up, Ken Eller, used to always say, if you can't play it slow, you'll never be able to play it fast. All right. And that's something I remember every time when I'm beginning a new tune. All right. I always, always, always start it super, super slow. All right. If it falls apart slow, it's going to be garbage fast. All right. Speed is earned. All right, not forced. So always, always, always start something super slow and then progress it up to the proper speed. All right, because again, I'm going to say it one more time: if you can't play it slow properly, it's not going to sound good fast. All right. Okay. Tip number four: record yourself constantly. All right. I hate doing this. All right. And I'm sure you will too, because nothing is quicker to point out how you think you sound versus reality than listening to yourself or even watching yourself play. All right. There's a very big difference between what you think you sound like and what you actually sound like. Okay. So, the quickest way to fix mistakes is to actually listen to yourself play. If you're thinking, man, I really am nailing this tune, it sounds great, I'm so confident, record yourself playing it and take a listen back. Hopefully you do sound good. But it's a great way to listen and be like, yeah, I can definitely hear myself rushing in the second part of that tune because I'm not so confident with it or something. All right. So always get in the habit of recording yourself practice. All right. Tip number five, get a teacher or some sort of structured system. Okay. A one-on-one teacher in person is the best you can do with learning the pipes, as long as the teacher is a qualified and good teacher. All right. If you can get that, that's absolutely the best you can do, all right? Because they can work with you in real time and move your fingers around if they need to. And it's just, there's no better way to learn, all right? The next best way to learn, I feel at least, is through the Highland Bagpipe Academy, obviously, because it's mine. I'm a little biased. Um, but at least then I know you're getting qualified instruction, and it's, as far as online stuff goes, it's really, really good. All right. You can also get structured lessons a lot of times from local pipe bands, right? And they'll give you free lessons, and um, it's kind of 50-50. Sometimes they're great for teaching, and sometimes it's not so great. All right. So I encourage you to either find a one-on-one teacher that can teach you in person, or to join the Highland Bagpipe Academy if possible, or make sure when you join a pipe band that they do have a good learning structure. Okay, number 5 leads into tip number 6 a little bit, which is join a pipe band, right? And join a pipe band as early as possible. A lot of people, at least I find, at least with a lot of my students, they feel like they have to wait, 5 years before joining a pipe band. They feel like they have to be able to play everything really well and be able to, just be really excellent players before they join a pipe band. Is not the case. All right, you can join, if you join a really good pipe band, yeah, you got to be good. But if you're just joining your local kind of smaller pipe band, a lot of times they just really want people in the band. All right, so you don't need to be absolutely amazing to join a pipe band. All right, and it really is a lot of rocket fuel in your progress, because it holds you accountable when you show up to practice, because they'll be like, well, you have to learn this tune, this tune, and this tune. So you actually do have to learn them when you show up to practice. Otherwise, you kind of feel like a fool because everybody else knows the music, all right? So it's very good for kind of, forcing you to progress. It's kind of good to have a little bit of force every now and then, to make you progress, all right? And a pipe band does that a bit. And a pipe band is also a great social circle. A lot of my best friends now and growing up, all part of pipe bands I played in. So if when you're looking at a pipe band to join, maybe try to find one that has similar interests with you, if possible. If there's a couple pipe bands in the area, if you're a teenager, maybe try to find a pipe band that has other teenagers in it. Or if you're, you know, 65 and the local pipe band is all kids, maybe try to find a pipe band where people are more your age, just so when you show up, it's a lot more enjoyable for you. Okay. All right. That's all about joining pipe bands. Okay. Tip number 7, break tunes into small sections and master them phrase by phrase or even bar by bar. Okay. A lot of people, beginners, will just start at the start of the tune and play it all the way to the end. Start at the start of the tune, play it all the way to the end, when really 80% of the tune they can play well, maybe 20% of the tune they're struggling with. That's never going to help you progress. All right. Focus on the 20% that you're playing poorly and play that over and over and over and over and over again with a metronome. Uh, and that will help you progress a lot quicker than just playing the whole tune over and over and over again. All right. So again, break the tune into small little sections and master those little sections before playing the entire tune. Step number 8, really important step. Maintain your instrument. Okay, monthly. Go through it and see which parts need to be rehemped. Make sure your reeds are in there well. A lot of times your drone reeds will fall out. Make sure they're in there nice and tight. Make sure your slides and stuff are nice. Make sure none of your parts are just coming undone and stuff. Make sure your cords look nice. All that sort of stuff. Make sure your moisture control system is working. Your bag is airtight. Retape your chanter. That's a big one. Take off the tape, once a month or so. Clean the chanter with some Goo Gone or WD-40. Actually, it works pretty well. Clean your chanter. WD-40 works well if it's not wood. Don't use it on wood. It works well on plastic. Retape your chanter again so your chanter's never sticky. All right. This is a really important part of playing the bagpipes. The bagpipes are hard enough as is. You don't want an instrument that's hard to play. All right. If it's hard to play, you're just going to struggle all the time. All right. So make sure it's as easy to play as possible by having good maintenance done once every month or so. Tip number 9. All right, set specific goals. The goal of I want to practice more, I want to sound better, those aren't real goals. All right. When you sit down with your practice chanter or you grab your pipes, have a goal in mind. Be like, okay, I can play this tune at 60 beats per minute. It needs to be at 80. Let's get it up to 65. All right. That would be a goal that you could achieve in 15 minutes. All right. Another goal might be, I can play nice and steady for, you know, 15 minutes. I really like to be able to play nice and steady for 20 minutes. Let's try to play for 20 minutes straight. Okay. Things like that are specific goals that you can kind of work on. All right. I think it's really important to just kind of um, remember what they are. A lot of times it helps to write them down. And then, when you do them, you can cross them off. All right. Like a to do list. All right. So, yes, set specific goals when playing. Okay. Tip number 10, turn your bagpiping hobby, career, whatever you want to call it, into something bigger. And what I mean by that is maybe turn it into a business. Okay. I know it's a hobby. You might be like, I work enough already. I don't need to turn this into a business. But I'm telling you, it's a great little way to make money, and it's pretty fun as well. All right, it's pretty easy to make a website these days. As long as you're a decent piper, all right. If you're just beginning, like you only got your bagpipes a year ago, maybe wait a little bit. But once you can play, quite a few tunes, and you've recorded yourself, and you sound pretty good, there is definitely a market for playing at weddings and funerals and parties and stuff like that. And they're usually pretty fun to do, and they usually pay pretty well. All right. And all you really have to do these days to do that is probably create a website, and you'll get some hits here and there. All right. I feel like doing that, at least when I was a kid, I did that a ton when I was in high school and in college, and it paid for my entire college, and it was the only job I really had in high school, um, and it really helped keep me motivated to play. All right, money is a great motivator, and if at worst, it will at least pay for this hobby. Okay, so don't be afraid to start a little side business, I guess, um, playing at weddings and funerals and things like that. All right, because again, it's good money, and it's usually quite a bit of fun. All right, okay, all right. Those are all the tips I have for you. Um, again, they're kind of big picture things that I'm hoping will keep you motivated to keep playing. All right, and help you accelerate your playing a little bit. All right. If there's any tips or things, maybe if you're watching this video, if you got all the way through, you want to recommend in the comments, please recommend some stuff. All beginners need as many tips as they can get, as long as they're good ones. And yeah. So just leave some tips in the comment section that you think I might have missed, because I'm sure I did miss some. And thanks for checking out the video today.